And pretty soon more boys and girls came in and it filled up. I bet there were 30 children in there. There were a lot of children in that first grade. And school got started. I sat down in my seat and Loretta was in her seat. You should have seen Loretta that day. I think she went to more trouble than I did to get ready for the first day of school. Because you know what her mama had done with her hair? She had plaited that hair into two big old long pretty pigtails. Oh man. And she sat in that desk right in front of me and she was so proud of herself and her fancy little dress that she was wearing. You girls don't even know about that. You hardly ever wear dresses nowadays, do you? But all the little girls wore dresses in first grade in 1954. And, oh man, she was in her pretty little dress sitting there. And if you've ever seen a little girl that's in fancy clothes, they just can't be still. They're just so happy, you know. They just kind of bounce around. And that was the way Loretta was. She sat there in that seat, and her little pigtails just bounced around right in front of me. I'm sitting here, and there goes those pigtails. They're just doing this. Dum, da-dum, 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 da-dum. And I keep seeing those pigtails, and I get an idea. Something in my head says, those pigtails need pulling. And my hand kind of starts up toward the top of my desk where those pigtails go like this, you know. And pretty soon, I decided I pulled. Loretta looked around. What was that? What was that? I didn't say anything. She got a kind of mean look on her face, you know. But pretty soon she forgot all about it. There went those pigtails again, right in front of me. I got a smile on my face. Look at those pigtails again. Oh, man. I took both of my hands. I kind of did like this up at those pigtails. Looked around a couple of times. Soon as Miss Overstreet turned her head way the other way, I pulled both of them at once. Ah! Miss Overstreet! Miss Overstreet! Loretta said, Terry Shaw, pull my pigtails. Miss Overstreet turned around and she said, Terry, don't pull her pigtails. Well, that's not nice. Don't pull that little girl's pigtails. I said, yes, ma'am, Miss Overstreet. Well, when I said, yes, ma'am, Miss Overstreet, I want you to know that I was absolutely sincere. In my heart of hearts, I didn't want to pull those pigtails again. I knew I shouldn't do that. Miss Overstreet didn't want me to, and I liked Miss Overstreet. She was a nice lady, and I wanted to do what she wanted me to do. But boys and girls, have you ever sat there just a few inches from a couple of pigtails that just wouldn't quit moving? I mean, that little Loretta sat there, and I think it made her want to bounce even more after that. As she bounced, those pigtails go like that. And I didn't want to pull them, but there they were. And pretty soon, I got to thinking about those pigtails. My hand kind of reached up there on the table again and started getting a little closer. You know, when my hands got up the top, those little pigtails, they kind of brush against them. I thought, it wouldn't hurt to give them one more little tug. Miss Overstreet, Terry Shaw, pull my pigtails. Terry Shaw, I told you a while ago, don't you pull Loretta's pigtails anymore. You understand me? Yes, ma'am. Those pigtails, they just kept bouncing like that. I held on to my knees. I tried to listen to what Miss Overstreet was saying. But those pigtails kept bouncing. Pretty soon, I wasn't even aware of it, but those hands, before I knew it, they were right up there and... Ah! Miss Overstreet! Terry Shaw, pull my pigtails again! Terry Shaw, Did you pull Loretta's pigtails again? Miss Overstreet stood up from her desk and she walked back to me and she said, Terry Shaw, I told you not to pull those pigtails twice, and you pulled them anyway. And she took me by my arm, picked me up, and popped my bottom. I'm sorry, Miss Overstreet. And you know what? The rest of that afternoon, those pigtails kept bouncing an awful lot. But I never pulled Loretta's pigtails again. And that's the story of my very first day in first grade and Loretta's pigtails.